Okay, the Massachusetts Audubon Society was founded in 1896 when Boston residents Harriet Lawrence Hemingway and Minna B. Hall formed a group to discourage ladies of fashion from wearing the brightly colored feathers of non-game birds in their hats. A market had caused the birds to be hunted almost to extinction. Recruiting leading ornithologist William Brewster as their first president, the group became the first state Audubon Society in North America. Headquartered in Boston, it was instrumental in the passage of the 1897 Massachusetts law outlawing trade in wild bird feathers and the 1900 Lacey Act, prohibiting interstate shipment of animals killed in violation of local laws. The group also helped to organize National Association of Audubon Societies, incorporated in 1905, which later became the National Audubon Society. Mass Audubon opened their first sanctuary, right here, Moose Hill, in 1916, initiating its mission in land stewardship, as well as birds and wildlife protection. In the 1930s and 40s, Mass Audubon began to emphasize education, establishing natural history programs for schools and day camps, training teachers and offering programs for children and adults. The organization began its program of professional research in 1956 with a scientific staff and laboratory facilities that by the 70s and 80s specialized not only in endangered species, but environmental issues such as pesticides, water pollution, wetlands protection, and energy conservation. Today, Mass Audubon is the largest conservation organization in New England. It maintains over 50 field offices and wildlife sanctuaries that serve as a base for nature and environmental education courses, programs, scientific research, and conservation-related activities. It protects over 40,000 acres of open space from the Berkshires to Cape Cod and the islands, publishes a nature magazine and newsletter for more than 100,000 members, and actively advocates for conservation laws and planning at local, state, and federal levels.
Thank you, Shawn.
Okay, there's some conflicting stuff. All right, so people have been here, right? Raise your hand if you've been here. Yeah, of course you have. Okay, so this sanctuary established in 1916, 300 acres at that time on Moose Hill Street. 1916, when the board accepted an offer from the Sharon resident George Field. Hold on, George Field. You want to see George Field?
Professor of botany, right?
George Field, professor of botany, and wait a minute, here's a picture of the guy.
And lived just down the road here.
He lived right down the road.
The house was yellow, is now grayish, slate colored.
Here's George Field. Okay, so George Wilton Field, the professor, planted a lot of stuff here and all kind of things too, okay? As a bird sanctuary, set it up as that, but planted lots of different strange things.
Yes.
The sanctuary is now 2,200 acres, and not 1,000 original, well, let's skip that. Okay, there are lots of trails for hiking in the fire tower in an old barn. In the summer, children go to day camp. Woo! Yeah, to learn about nature. There are presentations about maple sugaring in February and March and things like that too. Okay. The adjacent, skip over here. The adjacent Moose Hill Farm, trustee's property, is over there, over that side. The Nature Center, here's the Nature Center, was acquired in what year? Take a guess. I thought he was going to tell me the information. 1990. And as I've learned, I got to tell you, and this information, I don't know where this came from, the book where this stuff was photocopied from. In 1932, the Kendalls had said, well, we're going to give this over, but it didn't happen until 1990. And so camp, I know, started over there for a long time in the 40s kind of thing. Then it moved here when Kay Anberg was here. So really, 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 really neat. So the center displays of rotating exhibits throughout the year, great educational kind of stuff Shawn puts together and other people put together. The sanctuary consists of habitats: forest, freshwater marsh, meadows, estuaries, kettle holes, vernal pools. Really great. Over 160 species of birds have been observed on the property. And Moose Hill Farm, a lovely place along the way, is also a protected area, since being deeded to the town as part of a nature conservancy and historical preservation area in 2004. Did we read this right? No. It operates in conjunction with this sanctuary to protect several hundred acres that have been agriculturally active since the 1600s. Long time. A culturally significant local landscape, old stone walls, estate trees, the remnants of an orchard, and a fine collection of old farm buildings trace an important part of local history.
Thank you.